Josh Hamilton, legend, Texas Ranger, Major League Baseball. Good to have you here, man.
Good to be here.
Congratulations. It happened in 2019, but you got the blue Texas Rangers Hall of Fame jacket this weekend. How'd it feel?
It was good. It was awesome to go back to his first time in the stadium and just to see it, see the atmosphere, feel the air conditioning in Texas.
Yeah.
A 100-degree day. It was pretty cool. But it was a good home welcome reception. Had my wife and my two youngest daughters there and my dad, and we had a blast.
It's good to hear you felt welcomed. I mean, I would imagine that to be the case. You probably are the biggest star in the second best period in Rangers history. 2023 made that.
Yes.
To sit at the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
For a fan of the Texas Rangers, but 2010, 2011, your entire tenure, what, 08 to 13? 12, 13. I mean, it was one of the best times alive to be a Rangers fan.
It was fun, right?
It was so fun.
Like, you're right. Being a part of that group of guys, the organization in general, John Daniels, Nolan Ryan, Ron Washington. I mean, to get the best out of your players, they did a phenomenal job doing that. And then to surround each player with a guy who could make them – each player made the other better. And when one guy wasn't getting it done, I'm talking even guys who didn't start, the starters were cheering for the guys who didn't start when they were in, and those guys it was back and forth. And so it was a team that actually loved each other and enjoyed and had each other's back the whole way through.
Is that rare? You know, there's an article up right now on The Athletic, clubhouse guys that make the clubhouse fun or bring a team together. It is, people famously have said this, baseball is an individual sport masquerading as a team sport. Ultimately, what you do is on you out there, especially at the plate on offense. So is it hard to like come together as a group of guys?
I think it can be because, you've heard that saying you can have all the talent in the world and the best players in the world, but if they're, stuck on themselves and not willing to come together and play as a team, then you're not going to win ball games because it is a collective thing once you get out there. And it can be hard, can be difficult, but when you have guys like Michael Young and Adrian Beltre and, you had Vladdy, Nelson Cruz, Ian Kinsler. I mean, you can go down the list. At different times, those guys step up as guys who lead as far as speaking, and then you got guys who lead by the way they play. So each individual is different. Some guys like to be vocal. Some guys just like to get out there and get the job done and lead that way too.
So I've read before that if you measured the heart rate of a fan versus a guy competing on the field, it's actually more stressful and a higher heart rate for the fan in the stands than you on the field. So I'm going to take that and ask you this. If I ranked my top 5 biggest sports, not letdown, not depression, but crestfallen moments.
I know where you're going.
You know exactly where I'm going. It's 2011.
Yeah.
I mean, it is the Cardinals World Series. It's being one strike away from winning the World Series twice.
I just got out of therapy for that.
No, come on,
Thanks
man.
for bringing it back up,
Look, I mean, it's the 2006. I'm a Texas guy. I'm a Dallas guy. So it's the 2006 Dallas Mavericks NBA championship. It is, and then it's that. It's those two moments. And actually, the Rangers might be the closest and the worst because of how close it actually was. Is it worse, as bad for a player?
For something of that magnitude, yes. Because, like you said, the St. Louis series was the most emotional, physical, mental series I've ever been a part of. I mean, it was literally up and down, up and down. You think you're on top, and then something happens, you're back down. Then you go back ahead, and it's like you were worn out just physically, but, I mean, you were absolutely drained afterwards. Each game was like that. And it's funny you say the fans' heartbeat is going a little faster than the players. I can attest to that, and I agree with that now because watching my daughters play softball, I'm just over there like, brrr. And when I was playing, I was just up there like, whatever, because I was in control and I know what's going on and I know what I need to do to perform. And then when you're sitting in the stands, You've paid to come in and see this, but
and you have no control.
You have no control at all. And so I can imagine you're just like on the edge of your seat, because I feel that when I'm watching softball with my girls.
But you joked about therapy. Is it something? Is it something you think about, that World Series?
Occasionally, I really don't think about it a lot until people bring it up. It's just, man, my life would be a little bit different now if that would have won the game and won a World Series for the Rangers.
Yeah.
But you can't think that way. You know what I mean? Like, I was part of it. Like,
I mean, remind me, you hit the game, the go-ahead home run in the 9th?
10th.
In the 10th.
Two-run homer.
Yes.
But the thing was, like, I did an interview after the game that, the Holy Spirit, like, told me on deck I was about to hit a home run because I hadn't hit one in a while. And I was like, okay. First pitch. Whack. And then after the game, I shared that story or whatever. Well, I was talking to my wife the other day about it, and I was like, I told her exactly what I just told you. Hey, life would have been a little bit different if that actually would have held up. And she was like, yeah. But she said, why do you think the Lord tells you things but doesn't tell you the full picture? Because if he said you're about to hit a home run but you're not going to win the game, like, would you really enjoy that home run in the moment? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So hit it. He didn't say I was going to win with it, but enjoyed it because he didn't give me that full picture. And I appreciated it a lot more than if he had said, here's a homer, but you're not going to win. I'd been like, what's the point? You know what I mean?
I've got so many follow-ups. So first of all, how did you feel after that game? Is that like the worst you've ever felt in terms of stuff that happens on the field in sports?
Yeah, I mean, just like I said, as far as emotionally and mentally, just, we did everything we could to win the game. And sometimes that's why you play the game, because things happen. You can have the best team in the world against the worst team in the world. Well, you don't know who's going to win until you play the game. You expect a certain outcome, but you have no clue until the final pitch, final out's made. So that's what makes the game so frustrating. And that's what makes it so fun to play, is that scenario.
The other thing about what your wife told you about the Lord doesn't give you the full picture.
Not all the time.
Well, it's interesting you say that, and I do believe that to be the case. I gave a talk the other day, and I was talking about the different failures that I've incurred at points in my life. And I feel like now that I get to do what I want to do for a living from Dallas, Texas, I feel like I hit a half-court bank shot.
Yeah.
I never saw this coming. I lived in New York for way too long. And I thought, this is what my life has to be in order to do this for a living.
Yeah.
And I lost several opportunities along the way that would have kept me in New York. And, of course, I was super disappointed after every time I didn't get that gig. But if I had, I wouldn't be sitting here right now today.
Yeah.
And it's easy to think about that and contextualize it with failure. But in that case, it's success.
Yeah.
You're going to hit a home run.
Yeah. Right.
But you don't see the full picture.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't. And it is. I have moments like that, exactly what you just talked about throughout life, that you have no clue. It's the next step. It's in the moment. This is what's happening now. Because I've made plans before of what I wanted to do 2 or 3 years from now. And when 2 or 3 years comes, I'm completely somewhere else than I thought I'd be. And what's the old saying? Man makes plan, God laughs.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's like that is 100% true.
You and I were talking before we went on air, and you were talking about your reluctance to do media. You don't love doing media. But then you said to me, but I do love telling my story.
Yeah.
And I didn't know. You didn't realize this, but we've met once before. But this is really the first time we've had a conversation. I didn't know if you'd want to talk about, your ups and downs. I mean, you've talked about them. You've written about them. And, of course, it's a very fascinating part of your life. And I was reading through it, getting ready for this. I was looking back at things you said. I think you said in 05 and 09 maybe, various points of your career, and you did talk about the Lord a lot along that journey. Did you always feel like he was a part of your life through all of those ups and downs?
Let's see, I finally made the decision to accept the Lord in 2006 in my grandmother's back bedroom. I thought I had done it in 99 when I came back from rookie ball, but I said the prayer, had the tears, but there was no fruit. There was no getting in the Word, no fellowship with other believers, no praying. So there's no change there. So 06, I really felt like that was the beginning of my relationship with the Lord. And I can look back at you're going to make mistakes, you're human, but the walk through my relationship with the Lord is when I have gotten busy with life, I've made mistakes, like bigger mistakes, like whether it's a relapse or, because it doesn't just happen like that. It's a progression.
Tell me about that. What does that mean, busy with life, and then the progression starts?
Just life. I mean, you know how life can be with kids and your career and, you know, everything that's going on. You know, maybe you're not getting enough rest. Maybe you're pushing too hard doing your show, or me, you know, doing sports or whatever it is. And the Lord kind of goes from in the front to kind of push back a little bit. And then, you know, for me, it was what you put in comes out. So what type of music you listen to, or what you watch, or, you know, whatever dog you feed is going to grow, right?
Yeah.
So when I talk about the progression, it's that. It's not getting in the Word, not praying, and not fellowshipping, and not hanging out with guys that think like I do, as far as wanting a relationship with the Lord, and, you know, having, you know, pouring into your kids, and, you know, doing all the things you need to do. The things that are important start switching, and then you end up falling on your face eventually.
It's really interesting because you're talking about life as practice, just like in sports.
It is.
It's really interesting what you said about like what you're listening to, what you're watching. It's true. I mean, I think about it a lot when it comes to kids, but it's us as adults too. Like if you're listening to degenerate stuff, and look, I did. I can't pretend like I'm, you know, holier than thou.
But even country music, like I love country music, but
Me
they
too.
talk about drinking a whole lot in
Yes.
country music, and I'm like, dear God, I can only take so much of that, and then I got to go back to, you know, some Christian music. And Christian music, I get worn out on because they play the same songs over and over and over and over, and then I go back to country. So it's like a balance.
You're 100% right. I'll listen. I mean, I almost exclusively listen to country, and how many times I'm like, yeah, I could sit in the back and drink whiskey right now. You know.
And so somebody who struggled with it, I can't keep feeding that, because guess what I'm going to start thinking about?
Yeah.
And I can't start thinking about that. I'll have thoughts, like people think I just struggle. Like my life is like this big struggle, like all the time, of like fighting demons and, you know, this and drugs and alcohol. It's not. Like I've had weak moments, but the weak moments were led up by that progression of what am I putting in, and what's not the focus point. And God should always be the focus point, and He wasn't at times, different times in my life. So.
Okay, so now something else I want to go down. When you describe, let's back up for a minute. Okay, I read you didn't drink at all until 20. Was 20 your first time you drank?
Yeah, I like tried it once, like when I was in the minor leagues when I was 20. Yeah.
Okay.
It,
So, but then did it take off
no,
for you?
it was 18. I did it one night when I was 18, and then 20 is where I got hurt and got into a car accident, and then I hung out with the tattoo guys and. Yeah.
I read that you hung out in a tattoo shop.
Yeah, right. So what do you expect? Eventually, you're going to start doing what they're doing, right?
Yeah.
So.
But do you think? So, like you've said, you struggled. I don't know. Addiction, is addiction part of your story?
It is. You know, my parents didn't drink. You know, I didn't know anything about it.
Right.
You know, everybody says it's like, what do you call it? Hereditary.
Yep.
I'm like, dude, I never saw it, never knew it, never experienced it. So I really feel like, because baseball and my parents, the two things that were constant in my life, were taken away at the same time with that car accident. I just didn't have a foundation with the Lord, didn't know the Lord. So I started trying to fill those two spots with something else. And it was tattoos, hanging out. And it was, you know, eventually drinking alcohol and doing drugs.
Did you feel like once you did that at 20, did you feel the physical addiction? Like, I got to keep going on this stuff. I want to keep going. Or was it more like, I'm partying, I'm on that path you were talking about. This is the beast I'm feeding.
I'm bored. And, you know, I'm going to the field at 7:30 in the morning every day and home by 12 in the afternoon. And I got money and my parents aren't with me right now. So I'm bored. What am I going to do? So that's what I did.
So what I was saying, you launched a thought. So my dad definitely had issues with alcohol.
Yeah.
And when I tell people, and I don't talk about my dad's life, but it ended prematurely, and I only bring it up when it's important to the conversation or people ask me directly. But when I do, they always assume that he was, when you say alcoholics, like you picture somebody who has to drink all day,
Worst
every
case,
day.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And has almost a physical addiction to it. That wasn't my dad's story. It was this, you know what I mean? And when he went hard.
Yeah, oh,
you know?
yeah.
And then he didn't go for a long time.
Yeah.
And then bad decisions were made when he went hard. You almost said something similar to me a moment ago. People picture my life as though I have all these demons and it's a constant presence, but that's not your relationship with these substances.
No, it's not. What I do, let's see, when I first was out of baseball, when I got suspended in 2003, yeah, I went at it pretty hard. Like I said, because the thing that I really loved was taken away. And it was taken away by my choice and my actions and things I did. But I really, went after it hard from 2003 to the end of 2005 for a couple of years.
And that probably builds upon itself, right? You kept getting suspended,
oh, yeah.
giving you more time.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, man, what am I going to do? So I did. And then in 2006, when I, decided to really get my life right and straighten up and, like I said before, accept the Lord, move forward. So 2005, it was over in 2005. 2009, I relapsed again for the first time. Then 12, I drank one time. 2015, January, I drank and relapsed with cocaine again. So it's like these.
And in between?
And in between it was all good. Everything was good, and I'd be good for a while, be doing what I'm supposed to, and then, like I said, life would happen. Things weren't good at home. Things weren't this and that, and so I'd get in this progression of what am I listening to? What am I looking at? What am I doing? What am I feeding? What dog am I feeding?
Yeah.
And it was that progression until something would happen, in a relationship with the ex or whatever, and I'd say, screw it. Do it. Take a drink. Do this.
2012 is the famous Arizona bar. Is that what that is?
No, that was 2009.
That was 9. Okay.
Yeah.
As a fan, we remember that. We
Yeah.
remember that moment. In the period that you were out, so 02 to 06 roughly, 02 to 05?
03 to 05.
You
03 to
didn't play
06,
baseball
I'm
for
sorry.
like 3, almost 4 years, something like
Yeah.
that. 3 years. And look, you're the number one pick in the draft. You're all everything. Everybody blue chip, can't miss. But you're having this period now, right, where you're not playing baseball for 3 years. Did you think ever during that period that baseball was lost from you?
Sure. I didn't. There were moments, a lot of moments, where I just didn't think about it or thought, hey, I'm going to miss it. It was fun, but I thought that I'd never get back to doing it again. But the Lord did tell me once I was all in that He was going to restore it and restore me to playing baseball.
And that started in 06 in your grandmother's house?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yep.
In the back bedroom?
In the back bedroom. Yeah, where I'd hidden the Bible.
Was she with you?
My grandmother?
Yeah.
She was in the house, but
It was an individual thing?
no, it was a okay, I'm back here in your back bedroom smoking crack right now. And she knocks on the door. I open the door, and the house I can just see a haze through the house. And I love my grandma more than anything. And for the first time, all the things that my parents had told me, that she had told me, that, hey, we love you, you're better than this, you can do great things, we believe in you, all these things that I'd been told. And I was actually high when she was talking to me. I feel like the Lord just cleared my head and allowed me to actually hear it and see her tears. And that's when, I went to the back bedroom, shut the door, dug the Bible out from the closet, threw it on the bed. James 4:7, first verse I read. Humble yourself before God, resist the devil, and he'll flee from you. And that's when I gave my life to the Lord. So, but I started doing the things I was supposed to do. Started praying, started reading the Word, started getting involved with people who were more experienced in their relationship with the Lord. And that's when things started turning around.
Incredible, man. Thank you for sharing that story.
Yeah.
I know you have before, but I'm sure there's a limited amount of fun it is to revisit these stories over and over again.
Yeah, but the thing that keeps me revisiting them is you don't live in your mistakes. You learn from them, and you don't stay there. You get up and you move forward. But hearing people at all these ballparks, still walking around, people coming to me at the gas station. Hey, we really appreciate you sharing, the things, struggles you have, because we have the same struggles, or my son has the same struggles, or my daughter, or whatever it is. Knowing that, hey, I used to play baseball, do something different than you do, but I still have the same struggles. And, it might be different, might be, drinking or drugs or porn or pride or whatever it is. Everybody's got different struggles, but be honest about it and help people and help them work through their stuff. And it helps you actually work through your own stuff by constantly sharing the story of what God's done for you.
And your story, while high profile, is, to your point, not uncommon.
Yeah.
Everyone has a touch point with this.
Right. It's just whether or not you're willing to talk about it.
Yeah.
Or
you bringing up porn there at the end, I mean, we know what the stats are on this.
Right.
Like how many people are feeding that every day.
And it's easy access.
Very.
So it's like, I mean,
I've got 2 boys, teenagers. I mean, I literally worry about that. I mean, what is that on a young mind?
Yeah.
That access all the time. As a fan, you want me to tell you something? You've heard this as well.
Uh-oh.
You were right. It wasn't a baseball town.
It wasn't. And I was sweet and honest about what I was saying. But some people just...
It's a football town. It always has been. It always will be. But the thing about it, I mean, I lived in New York for a while, so I know what a baseball town is like. But I also know how a guy like you or this 2023 team are loved here, you know. And same thing with Luka Doncic and the Mavericks. You live here. You know how that is.
I heard all about that one. I was like, ooh.
But you go to California and you say that.
I'm sorry.
I don't remember being mad.
I got back as quick as I could.
What happened out there? Injuries? I mean,
oh man, it was a mess. Well, first of all, I should have taken more. I should have prayed more about where to go, and whether I should have stayed or not stayed, or I kind of left it up to my wife at the time, and she wanted to head that way. So it was kind of like, let's keep the peace and go.
Yeah.
And it was hard. It was beautiful out there, but it was hard. I mean, it's a different world out there.
You're talking about the life, the culture, the clubhouse.
Everything, all of it. I mean, I enjoyed most of the guys I played with out there.
That smile means, the most.
Most of the guys.
I'm not going to make you name names.
Oh, I won't name names. You won't make me name names. But, it was just different. I mean, it wasn't that togetherness that I experienced in Texas. And it was even different fan-wise. It's kind of like going out for a social event for a ball game instead of all in, here we are to support. So there were sprinkled in fans here and there, but for the most part, you look around and you see people talking, chatting it up the whole game and taking selfies, and it was just a different world. So.
And you're here in Texas. You told me you have been since 2008. So what's life like for you now?
Good, man. I'm a professional Uber driver, that doesn't get paid. You know how it is with kids.
I do.
My 16-year-old 13-year-old are doing well. They're in school in Grapevine, and they the 16-year-old's playing softball, and playing select and doing really well. And she wants to go to college and play ball someday. And the 13-year-old, she is playing softball in school, but she wants to be an equine vet. And so she's all in with horseback riding and doing all those things. And I told my kids, I said, I don't care what y'all do, as long as you find something you're passionate about it and really work hard at it. So that's what they're doing. Older two is Julia is, let's see, I think she's modeling. I haven't talked to her a whole lot since she was 13, 14. Sierra has a baby and is married, hanging out at home. I haven't talked to her a lot since she was 13 and 14. Kind of broke the cycle of those two. 13 and 14, they're gone. Mm-hmm. So now we got a 16 and 13-year-old. 16-year-old lives with my wife and I full-time now. 13-year-olds back and forth week to week. So,
Do you watch baseball?
no.
Why?
Yeah, man, I want to play it.
Really?
Yes.
So you watch and you get frustrated and you want to be out there?
Yeah. I watch it and it's like, man, I want to. It just
44. Like, didn't Vladimir Guerrero play till he's 65 or something?
yeah, but he could kind of still run. Man, I had a lot of knee surgeries.
Yeah.
I've had like 10 or 12 since.
Rangers
I
need
retired.
offense real bad, Josh.
Well, if you could write in and have MLB have a runner standing there, I could take some hacks and all right, hand it back to the bat boy and walk back to the dugout. You know, like church league softball or something.
But it's too hard to watch?
Yeah, I mean, I watched, in 23 when they played the Astros in the ALCS.
Yeah.
Because Silver Boot was a big deal back in the day. So to see them wear them out was a lot of fun. And then, of course, I obviously watched the World Series. But since then, I haven't watched one game.
So if I ask you, like, who do you see today that you're like, that guy can play, that guy can swing the bat?
Well, I'm just going to guess. Like, we know Ohtani and we know Judge.
You're just guessing?
Because every time I turn the TV on, they're on like an ad for like a game coming up or something.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, I mean, I know Garcia, I know Seager, and all the big names.
Yeah.
And
That's a big shortstop.
he is a big shortstop. Yeah, I walked in the other day and he was in the cage hitting. I was like, yeah, he's a shortstop. He's a big boy.
Do you like the way baseball's changed, faster, pitch clock, the things they're doing to try to make? I know you're not watching,
Yeah.
but they are trying to make the game something, I guess, that's easier to consume, easier for fans.
Yeah, that was the part that was so boring, I guess. Is like it would just drag on for 3.5, 4.5 hours, which is great for beer sales, I guess, but not so much for people having interest in it. So 2.5, 3 hours, maybe 3.5 is good. I mean, yeah. So the clock on the pitcher is good. I'm not a big fan of these guys walking halfway to first, flipping their bats, doing all that stuff. I mean, it's just.
You're already old school.
I mean, but it's like you never saw me pimp a home run, I never stood there and watched it. I was afraid it wasn't going to go out, and then I was like an idiot trying to run the second base. They don't care about that stuff anymore. So.
Well, listen, man. Congratulations. I think it's really great. I'm glad that they've honored you. You're on the short list of the most important Texas Rangers in history, along with Nolan Ryan and Juan Gonzalez and Pudge Rodriguez. And I guess some of these guys from 2023 will have to add to that list.
Yeah.
But I'm really happy you've been embraced by the
I
Rangers.
appreciate it. I want to ask you a question, though. Greg Gutfeld,
Yeah?
is he as beautiful and as beastly and as tall as he looks on camera?
Yes. I mean, he is. You're 6'4", you tell me,
Yeah,
6'5"
yeah,
in boots.
yeah.
I mean, he does tower over us. I'm
Right.
6'2", and Greg's a giant of a man.
Sorry, Greg.
He could play shortstop. You watch Fox?
Yeah, for sure.
That's great.
Yeah, and I'll dip my toe on the other channels every now and then. I'm
Yeah.
like, I can't do it.
You want to give any hot political opinions here today?
No. I already told you about opinions, and everybody's
Yes.
got one.
Yes.
So, but I will leave you with this though. Like, this kind of addresses a little bit of what happened with my daughter, and I've been quiet on it, and I'm going to stay quiet because I've already promised the interview to somebody else when my daughters, younger two, graduate high school, because I don't want them to deal with all the crap that goes along with back and forth in the media and stuff like that. But just imagine being accused of something you didn't do, and then having to, let's see, you have proof that you didn't, so you can clear it up, your innocence. But then having to decide, because you got a DA that's in a election year and can't look like she's going light on you. So you got to decide, okay, am I going to drag my daughter who claimed this in front of a jury in a courtroom? Am I going to drag my other two younger daughters in there and they'll have to testify and everything? Or am I going to be a good dad? And I'm going to fall on the proverbial sword here for my family and shut this thing down when it comes to them? and keep them out of the media and keep out of a back and forth with my ex in the media and let them live their life and move on and take the hit for it. Well, that's what I choose to do.
Well, we weren't going to talk about that today, and we still won't. But so you are going to do that interview. You're going to talk about this at some point?
I will, but hey, that's going to be in 5 years because my youngest one's 13. She's going to graduate to the end. So I will at some point, but I don't get bothered by what people think about me or what they say. And knowing my relationship's good with the younger two, knowing that the Lord promised me, going through all that stuff with my now 19-year-old, that he will wake her up one day, and he didn't say how he was going to do that or how fast he was going to do that or when it was going to be. But just knowing that he keeps his promises and he'll restore that relationship one day gives me a lot of hope. And so focus on the family. Almost married 5 years now. Love my lady. The best thing that's ever happened to me. And just moving forward.
I appreciate you addressing that.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you, man. Thank you for doing this with me.
Yeah.
I was excited to get to talk to you.
My pleasure.
All right, Josh Hamilton, thank you, man.